61. The nose on the 23 of Bubba Wallace had some damage.
Bubba Wallace just delivered the most explosive radio meltdown of the 2025 season, and his vicious attack on Christopher Bell has split the NASCAR world right down the middle. When a Turn 4 wreck took out multiple contenders and destroyed Wallace's playoff hopes, he didn't hold back with a brutal F-bomb-filled outburst that nobody saw coming. His explosive comments about Bell weren't just angry, they were personal, and the aftermath has drivers picking sides in what's becoming NASCAR's hottest controversy. Saturday's Quaker State 400 at Echo Park Speedway was already delivering drama before the first stage even ended. With just 3 laps remaining in Stage 1, everything went sideways literally in Turn 4. Christopher Bell got turned by contact with Kyle Larson, sending his number. 20 Toyota spinning across the racing surface. In superspeedway racing, one car going sideways usually means disaster for everyone behind them. Bell's spin was no exception. Bubba Wallace, running in the tight pack, had nowhere to go. He crashed directly into Bell's sliding car, taking major damage to his number. 23 McDonald's Toyota. The impact sent both drivers sliding toward the outside wall, with Wallace getting the worst of the contact. As Wallace's damaged car came to rest, his frustration boiled over on the team radio. His words were simple, direct, and absolutely brutal. "Christopher Bell is a fucking dumbass. That's what he gets." The raw anger in Wallace's voice told the whole story. This wasn't just disappointment about getting caught up in someone else's mess. This was genuine fury directed personally at Bell. Wallace clearly felt that Bell had made a mistake that cost multiple drivers their day, and he wasn't holding back his opinion. The radio transmission spread across social media within minutes, with fans debating whether Wallace's reaction was justified or over the line. In a sport where emotions run high and millions of dollars are on the line, drivers don't always choose their words carefully in the heat of the moment. Wallace's bad day was far from over. The Bell wreck left him a lap down, fighting to stay relevant in a race that was quickly spiraling out of control. Just 12 laps later, the real carnage arrived.
And with Daniel Suarez.
The big one hit the backstretch on lap 69, involving a record 23 drivers at Atlanta. Cars were spinning, sliding, and crashing in every direction. Wallace, now running in the back of the pack after his earlier damage, somehow managed to thread the needle and survive the chaos.
Now we ride with Bubba Wallace. Can he get it slowed down? What a job.
While other drivers saw their days end in twisted metal and disappointment, Wallace's earlier setback actually saved him. Running behind the main pack meant he had time to react and avoid the worst of the destruction. The crashes had massive implications for NASCAR's inaugural in-season challenge. Wallace's round 1 opponent was Daniel Suarez, who got caught up in the big wreck and ended up in the garage. With Suarez eliminated, Wallace's path to round 2 suddenly looked much clearer. Sometimes in NASCAR, survival matters more than speed. Wallace's ability to keep his damaged car running and avoid the second major wreck meant he was still in contention for the $1 million prize, while higher-seeded drivers went home empty-handed. The explosion at Bell wasn't happening in a vacuum. Wallace entered Atlanta just 29 points above the playoff cut line, fighting to secure his postseason position. His 2025 season has been a tale of extremes. 6 top 10 finishes, balanced by 6 DNFs. 23. iRacing as a whole has struggled with consistency this year. While teammate Tyler Reddick has found success with multiple strong runs, Wallace has battled through a series of setbacks that have left him frustrated and searching for answers. "We'll get out of this little slump that we're in and get back on track," Wallace had said before the race. The optimism didn't last long once the green flag dropped and chaos ensued. NASCAR fans had strong opinions about Wallace's radio outburst. Social media erupted with debates about whether his reaction was appropriate or if he was just making excuses for getting caught up in racing. "Bubba crying again. I'm shocked," one fan posted, reflecting the criticism Wallace often faces for his emotional reactions to setbacks. Others defended his right to be frustrated after getting collected in someone else's accident. "It's never anything he did," another fan commented, pointing to a pattern they see in Wallace's responses to incidents. The debate highlighted the polarizing nature of Wallace's personality and racing style. Wallace's outburst reflects the intense pressure drivers face in modern NASCAR. With playoff spots, prize money, and championship hopes on the line, getting taken out by someone else's mistake can be devastating both financially and emotionally. The in-season challenge added another layer of stakes to an already high-pressure situation. Drivers weren't just racing for points and stage wins, they were battling for survival in a million-dollar tournament where one wreck could end everything. Notably, Christopher Bell hasn't responded publicly to Wallace's accusations. The Joe Gibbs racing driver has maintained his focus on the bigger picture, knowing that engaging in radio drama rarely helps anyone's championship hopes. Bell entered Atlanta as one of the season's most successful drivers with 3 wins already. Getting called out by Wallace over a racing incident probably doesn't rank high on his list of concerns, especially when he's focused on winning championships rather than radio wars. Despite the harsh words and damaged equipment, both drivers will move on to Chicago next week for round 2 of the in-season challenge. Wallace advanced thanks to Suarez's elimination, while Bell was knocked out by the wreck. For Wallace, the key will be channeling his frustration into better results. His survival instincts at Atlanta proved he can navigate chaos when needed. Now he needs to find the speed and consistency to compete with the sport's elite. The radio outburst will be forgotten by most fans within a week, but it serves as a reminder of the intense emotions that drive NASCAR competition. When millions of dollars and championship dreams are on the line, even the smallest mistakes can trigger explosive reactions. Bubba's brutal takedown has NASCAR divided. What did you think? Was he right to call out Bell or just making excuses? Smash that subscribe button and drop your take in the comments.